Hey everybody, it's Lisa Hendon here, your health and life coach, aka Healthy Mindset Coach. And I just wanted to hop on here for this week's weekly Wednesday wisdom and wish you a happy Wednesday. It's funny, I actually saw somebody today who was asking like, oh, like, are you gonna post your video today? And I said, yeah, I still need to make it because I'll tell you guys a little secret. I don't always make these videos on Wednesday. A lot of the time it's not on Wednesday, so today is actually Wednesday, so happy Wednesday. I am really excited about today's topic, which is we're gonna talk all about the concept of honoring fullness, what that means, why it's important, why we do it, and how do we stop and to start creating healthier habits around eating and overeating and that kind of thing. I know that for myself, this was like one of the biggest, I guess, like pivotal changing points in my own eating habits, because I certainly really struggled and still sometimes struggle with overeating, eating beyond fullness, which we'll talk all about, and you guys will have a really clear idea about what that means and how to stop doing it. So a couple of videos ago, we talked about the concept of honoring hunger. Wherever you're watching this, you can check back in previous like older videos and you can watch that video about honoring hunger if you missed that. I always give the example that like just like we don't let our cars, let the gas run on empty, right? Like we don't drive our car until our car comes to a stop, right? Like when the gas light comes on, we start saying, okay, we need to go get some gas. So our bodies are the same. We don't want to wait until we are starving to eat, because oftentimes that leads us to overeating. That leads us to eat more than we need to be eating. So just like with our car, we don't wait till it gets empty. We also don't overfill it with gas, right? That would like kill your car. You only fill it until it's full. So let's talk about this, guys. Okay, what does honoring fullness actually mean? So what it really practically means is knowing what happens in your body and what it feels like to feel full. Like not overeating, eating until your body is ready to complete the meal. So questions you can ask yourself are you somebody who finishes your plate even though you're still full, just because the food's in front of you and you want to eat it? Are you somebody who, when you go out to eat, let's say for Chinese, and you for sure have had plenty to eat, but that sesame chicken is just still sitting there and it's calling you and you just want to keep eating that and picking? Or even on Shabbos, on the weekends, that's a huge example. We have tons of food in front of us. There's a bunch of courses, a bunch of dishes, and we feel like we need to have all of it, even though we might not actually be hungry for all of it, and usually we end up eating enough for 2 meals if you think about it. So that's basically what honoring fullness means. It means stopping when your body is actually comfortably full. Now I want to talk about why it's important. Some of you might be saying, Eliza, I don't get it. If I eat healthy foods and I'm eating salads, who cares? I can eat as much as I want. And I guess that's unfortunately incorrect, because even if you're eating the healthiest foods in the world, if you're stuffing yourself and overeating, your body does not metabolize that food the same way, because your appetite starts shutting down. The digestion process in your body kind of starts turning off when you're comfortably full. And the more and more you're eating, we're going to talk more about this later in the video, the more and more you're eating, it's not doing you any favors. And this is just such a huge example of what I teach my clients, because it's not just about what you're eating. If you're trying to be healthier, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to increase your energy and feel better, whatever it is, it's not just about what you're eating. It's not just about finding a diet. You have to change your eating habits as well. So I guess that's a big part of it, is that overeating can cause digestive issues. So many times when people have upset stomachs after they're eating, or heartburn or indigestion, things like that, it can be caused because you're overeating. And also, unfortunately, it often can cause weight gain as well. So then I guess the question is, why do we do this? Why do we overeat, right? First of all, I think that for a lot of us, I know for myself, it kind of became a habit, right? Like I was always in the habit of finishing my plate. It was like rude if you didn't finish your plate growing up. Like, you always finished your plate. So for me, it just became a habit of wanting to finish my plate. So for you, like, is it a habit you've developed? Do you notice that for yourself? Another reason could be emotionally. Some people don't necessarily realize it, but sometimes having that uncomfortable fullness can actually be an emotionally comforting feeling, or it can help you to numb unwanted emotions out, or things like that. And then another possible reason is, let's say you're at a restaurant, or you're at a relative's house, or you're somewhere where they have amazing, yummy food, and you're thinking, oh, but I'm never gonna have this again, right? So I need to eat as much as possible. That's another possible reason why someone might want to overeat and not honor their fullness. So then the question is, how do we stop, right? Like if you're somebody who's noticing, yes, Elisa, I have this habit, I overeat on the weekends, I overeat at dinner all the time. How do I stop? So the first thing I'd like to do is to give you a little bit of a funny example, okay? Let's say, we think about an animal, right? Like let's say there's a deer in the wild, okay? And what do deers eat? I guess deers eat some grass and they eat some berries. Do we often see deers like overeating berries and then like laying on the ground like super full? No. Why? Because animals are physical beings. They eat to satiate themselves, they eat for energy, and then they hop, skip in the forest and move on. Okay, so obviously as human beings, we are way more than an animal, because we are not just a physical being. We have a brain, we have a mind, we have emotions, we have a soul, however deep you want to get into that. But a lot of the times when we're overeating and we're eating past that point where we're just eating for energy, which is really what the purpose of food is, it's often not because of down here, because your stomach's wanting it, it's because your head's wanting it. Emotionally, you're wanting it. You want to indulge in that food because it tastes really good. We're not eating to energize our body. And I think that the first step is to really understand, and for me this was huge, that like your body doesn't want extra excess food. It does not want that. Even if you're starving, even if you're at a point, going back to talking about honoring hunger, where you're like starving and haven't eaten and you need to eat, even at those points, your body doesn't want that excess food. It's not helping anything physically to eat more than when you're eating past eating for energy. So what does that mean, eating for energy? And I guess the way I like to think about it is that, picture your stomach for a second. You don't want to eat until you're 100% full. That's incorrect. For me, I always thought like I want to eat as much as I can so that like I don't get hungry later. Like no. Eating for energy means eating till about you're 80% full. That's when you feel comfortably full, you feel satiated, you feel energized and ready to get up and go. If you're eating and you're feeling tired and bloated and gross and sluggish, that means you're overeating. I once read, I don't remember which book it was, but I read that a good indication for if you're overeating is that you should be able to take a brisk walk when you're finished eating. And if you can't, that's a good indication that you have overeaten. So those are just a couple of tips of how we can stop overeating now, because it's not doing your body any favors. It might be causing you digestive issues as well as weight gain, especially if you're someone who's looking to lose weight. So that's just a quick, easy tip about how to change your mindset around food, and how food is meant to energize us, not to weigh us down and make us tired and bloated and feel gross. So this whole topic, guys, is just like a small example of what I cover and talk with my clients about in my 90-day total transformation program. Like this is just a part of one session. We are not just focusing on what foods that you should be eating for your body, because we do talk about that as well. We talk about actually changing habits, how to break old habits and create new healthy ones that supports the health that you and life that you want to be living. So I really want to invite you guys, if this is an example of something you're struggling with, please send me a message or an email, or wherever you're watching this video, please contact me, and I would be happy to schedule a discovery session with you guys. This is a free 30-minute session that I offer over the phone or in person. So you can send me an email at elisahendon@gmail.com or message me on social media, wherever you are seeing this. So I want to wish you guys an awesome Wednesday, and I cannot wait to connect with you guys. Please even just send me a message letting me know what your biggest takeaway from this was. Talk to you later, guys.